Speaking of which, Claire's in the building. Tacha guys wengine were introduced, but Claire, you remember tukiwa coast, East African Anthem ili play, and people were so emotional. Unajua kuimba?
Yeah.
All right. Take it away, Claire.
Take it away. Twende kazi.
Tupatie to the first verse.
The first verse.
Are you gonna play the beat?
No. Just
the beat.
Wewe wapi tunachezanga beat ya nini? Mumezoea vitu za gava sana. Sisi hapa kwa grao tukimit tuseme tunataka have a conversation. Okay, tuanze national anthem. Hakuna msee anaanza hapo 10 10 10.
You go kill me, man.
Yeah. Make sure kesho that's what we are doing here on Morning Vibes between 6 to 7. We want to know who can sing this song because
upewe beats.
Nipe beat.
Mungu twaomba uilinde.
Head start.
Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Tuwezeshe kuishi kwa I don't know.
Tutimize malengo yetu.
All right, stop there, guys. Stop there. Stop there.
Sote tuilinde.
Yeah.
Tuwajibike, tuimarike. Uwezo wetu ni nguvu yetu. Sorry.
Idumu jumuiya yetu. All right. Look at you, son. Because ile yenye si tunajua ni ile Nazizi first lady.
East
Africa's first lady. Yeah.
Let them all be fire.
Yeah, man. You know tunajua mazee. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Kuna energy.
Yes.
We're about to have a serious conversation hapa kwa mjadala kwa on my grind as we've been doing youth policy dialogue forum, and we're privileged in studio to have guests. We're going to start from the left hand side. Kevin, usijiintroduce hapa. The left hand side.
Hi, my name is Melody Tangus. Yes.
Hi, Melody.
Melody who?
Tangus.
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 Okay.
Yeah, Melody won the Dance for Peace challenge.
Yo.
She's a very good dancer. Na tuko na merchandise yake.
Pim.
You see that smile? She's ready to showcase it. Take a video dance.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yendo ali really get our peace dance.
Finally.
Claire, do you introduce maze? Declare yourself on Vibes Radio.
You're gonna use that all along.
I got you.
Okay, my name is Claire OSORO. A tech owner, business owner.
Yeah.
At the Foresight for Democracy, I'm the national coordinator, one of the national coordinators, and I'm also the general manager at Enkare Ultra Volunteers, which is the volunteer organization of the year, UNV.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
UNV ni
United Nations Volunteers.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay. Mandem.
Yes, hi guys.
Hello, what's up? Niaje?
My name is Elvis Ochieng. I'm a website designer. I'm a youth leader. And I'm a student at Peace Kinyanjui Technical doing diploma in information communication technology.
Nice.
Asante.
All right.
So, si tunajua tukiongea leo of course tunaongea juu information communication and technology, but first wacha nichukue break hapa watu wasikie ngoma yetu mazee. Because as you are out there as a young person, remember peace. Nasi braids.
Vote for our Kenya. Vote for the youth policies. Vote for opportunities. Vote for the truth and values. Vote for transformation. Vote for everything good. Vote for your neighbor, for me and for you.
Right, ya vote so that future you are bright. Nikitu ya exercise killer day, killer night. Twende tukavote, everything will be alright. This is our nation, this is our life. Dear youth generation.
Hii ni home yako, you don't need an invitation. Kenya ni ya kwetu, and that calls for celebration. This is our nation, this is our nation, this is our nation.
Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu kwa juhudi za National Youth Council, sauti ya vijana.
Yaman, sauti ya vijana. Leo tunataka kuongea juu ya information, communication and technology. Na unasikia Claire and our guest wote ni wase wa IT. Leo tunataka kuongea kuna opportunities gani kwa hii sector for the youth. What is the situation like on the ground? Tunajua kuna between 500,000 to 800,000 students wenye wanatoka shule annually. Tunaambiwa tech is the future. But are we really maximizing on the opportunities? I'll start with you, Claire.
I'd say yes and no. Yes, because, for example, I am a trained journalist. I didn't study ICT. But then, as soon as I got out, I realized the space for tech was very, very expansive and accommodative and diverse. Like, for example, in tech, I do tracking of vehicles, personal and PSVs. In tech, I also do digital marketing. I also do social media management, project management for people. Like, as I was coming in, I heard you guys talk about Uradi. I'm behind the marketing of Uradi.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
That's impressive.
there's very many opportunities for the youth and everyone in the tech field. You just need to know how to position yourself. I'm a communication specialist. I have to know how relaying of information in a very strategic way is able to sell the agenda in every sector I go into. That's why even for Full Sign Democracy, we're using tech through digital media and social media to advance that conversation. We had online meetings with youth from all over the country, all regions in Kenya, to participate in Fursa for Democracy thanks to ICT. So you only need to know how to position yourself so that you're able to embrace and create a space for yourself. Tumechoka na hii narrative ya hakuna job, nisaidie job, nitafutie job, what can you do? I don't know. That's the worst response I always get when people approach me.
I have some interesting numbers over here according to the, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Wanasema in terms of ICT output, by 2021, it was valued at about 566.3 billion Kenya shillings. At the same time, unajua mimi nimekuwa kwa hiyo space ya IT. Of course, I had a startup. The college was telling you some of the problems we had to hire my guys. Ilikuwa they kind of seemed they were half baked. Some of the uzuri walikuwa nasema, I have a GitHub account nini. If you look at the type of the quality of ICT education that we offer in our schools, iko fiti sana ama we can do better, especially in our
I wouldn't comment on that.
Yeah.
Maybe my friend, because I didn't study IT.
That's interesting.
I started an IT business because I appreciate the fact that I don't need to know something to be an entrepreneur. I just have to create an opportunity using my skill, which is communication, marketing, sales, to create that space for someone else. So if it is that I'm able to register a company and be able to run it and be able maybe to start up a technology, like when I started, I researched and found out that there's this tracking technology that you can use to track anything and everything, including everything in this studio, including yourself. Sorry. Yes. Yes. So out of that, it created that inspiration for me to start it. Umeona? So for me,
you find out juu ya hiyo technology ukasema, "He, wacha niingie hii space."
This is big bucks. Very big bucks. And even when you quote it, I can tell you it's actually very true. ICT can sustain us beyond even the other things.
I guess nilikuwa nasema ICT is important in the education sector.
Yeah, absolutely. Na pia ukiangalia mavijana sana usai watu wanajimudu na IT. Ukiangalia wase Kenya mnajulikana mnafanyanga assignments, watu wenye wako majuu,
fraud.
Right?
Sorry.
But wacha nikwambie, and I'm getting to my question. So unasikia very high tech crime imefanyika, mtu hii mwenye ako sijui first year ama ako somewhere huko deep in the heart of Rift Valley pali hata stima iko limited. Mtu huyo ashatengeneza app nini hack into bank ametoa mapesa huko. So kuna opportunities, but it seems that sisi mavijana tunazichukua ama tuna create vitu zetu.
Okay, I can say many youth nowadays rely in ICT for information and betterment of their lives. And I want to appreciate what the government is doing. And recently, the president, Honorable President Uhuru Kenyatta, managed to launch the software development company. And these are a good initiative. These are a good project. And in terms of ICT, the way students are more engaged in doing the course. Because you find that in technical colleges and universities, most students nowadays tend to go for the ICT one. Because they have known the future is ICT. Even if you see the advertisement that nowadays they are being done on our television, it's about the coding, the programming.
Like in Elvis, what about the quality of education?
Okay, the quality of education. I think we should now come up with a special unit where we can be able to teach or rather to educate more on programming and coding.
But that's crazy because you're talking about going into the university, ziko already the courses. So tena unasema tufungue tena an extra program for this.
Maybe if I can clarify on that. You know, kwa technical colleges, we don't have these programming and coding courses. So if we can introduce them to the technical colleges, we drop it down. I think this one can help. Now that we are talking more about the future is coding and the future is ICT.
Yes. And when we're talking about solutions za hii country, ukiangalia some of the startups zenye zimeanza kwa hii nation, unapata kama ni you know, such niche problems zenye ziko kwa hii country yetu, mavijana wanazisolve na ICT. Kuelewa kama hiyo coding yenye unasema hapa tumeinterview wase wametengeneza arm a robotic arm ya kufanya surgery na nini. Tumeongea na wase wametengeneza some crazy things as in a machine that is manipulated by the mind, and these are people wenye hata hawajaenda shule. So hiyo education na hiyo coding, I think kila mtu anaelewa that mtoi sahi anafaa. Let me ask you a question. Mtoi sahi anafaa kuwa bila kuelewa coding, like labda mzaya sema hapana acha yeye afanye sports.
Is it like a must lazima ujue
in the future
tech?
Let me respond on that. It is necessary. I say I like to be part of the solution. Part of the things you're doing at Encourage Ultra Volunteers, where I'm the GM, we have an IT team where every holiday we are teaching kids from high school on coding, robotics, and the basics that they need in ICT. By the time these kids get out of high school, they already know if they want to advance in that, in terms of, do I want to start my own, or do I want to be employed under someone? Do I want to advance it in the country? Do I want to go outside? Then the other response I'd give to the education angle is, it doesn't have to be that we wait for government regulation or the curriculum to be advanced to our feet. That's why I started Quest Dynamics. It's about us being dynamic in our minds. We have people even in Nkare who are self-taught. There's online courses, akina Coursera, akina Udemy, and all these platforms where you actually enroll and study like you're in uni.
But lakini unajua shida imekuwa nini? Na nataka leo tuongee juu ya infrastructure. Kwa sababu hata sasa hivi yenye tunasema you're basically talking about urban areas. Tunaongea sasa hivi watu wanafaa kuwa wakielewa coding because it's the future. We're talking about how we should be able to bring these coding courses and everything into technical universities. But that's at the university level. Wewe ulisema hata kuingia uni kulaniki tu. Umejiteach. Na kuna msana anatusikia labda ako place pali internet yenyewe lazima atembe paka huko ndio apate that connection. So there is a gap in infrastructure. What can ask kama my youth, area yako ina internet, what does that mean and how can we be part of the solution?
Okay, maybe if I can answer to that. You know, from where I come from, that is Kajiado County, and to find that there is still some areas that we don't have this infrastructure. So the government should come in through partners like Kiktanet, through partners like the Kektil, and build up these infrastructures. Because apart from that, not only Kajiado County that we have the issue of internet access. You have talk of Moyale and northern side of Kenya. So the infrastructure, this is the most important development that should be put into consideration.
So unaona vijana watafanyaje? Kwa sababu unajua tunasema what the government should do. The government is on its way out. We are talking about youth policy dialogue forum. So kuna kijana anakusikia kutoka tuseme Moyale na tusi kuangana listeners from all over the country. Ameelewa ICT ndio the future. Lakini nikiangalia hapa area pali niko hata kuna connectivity. Nifanyaje?
So there's two ways to look about this. Self-initiative and also pushing for government intervention. So the self-initiative starts with what are you doing in that space at that moment. Like for example, there's masts already set up countrywide. It just takes for you to get into maybe like a SIM card kind of data transfer. So if it is that IT or ICT is your area of passion, what are you doing to ensure you go to the extremes to have this capacity for yourself? So through Fursa, again, let me go back to that. We've given the youth an opportunity to present what it is they feel that should be addressed, that is directly related to the youth. So if it is that we should not separate the ICT policy and have it together as a whole youth policy, regional youth policy and national youth policy. Then this is the space for you to come up and be part of the policy formation and present this to government as a youth. Because in this day and age that we're getting into, we can't live blaming institutions, entities for not doing this for ourselves. And that's why I started the conversation with, what are we doing to create the space for ourselves? So those two instances are very key. 3, there's partnerships. Like, for example, the ICT training that we're doing at Nkare was because of us walking into American Corner, Moi University, the bazaar. And asking for space. So we started with asking for space. Then it went to, can we give this opportunity for the students or the kids to the staff members who maybe are seeing what is going on with other people and want to extend this to them. So we didn't get to the high schools by ourselves. It was through partnerships. So there's entities, ICT entities, and also parastatals that are willing to invest in this. We just need to be able to formulate something formal and present proposals to them and be willing to go the long haul and invest in ourselves. So it takes CLARE to give away that kidogo money for transport to go and pitch. It takes CLARE to start with just data, buying a bundle while you're researching on what is the best thing to put in this proposal. It takes CLARE to just stand up, get confident, and walk into that office, like maybe how we walked into the National Youth Council and these opportunities were created for us. So apart from the brain, apart from the will, there also has to be the grit.
And let's talk about that grit. Kevin, unajua venye tumekuwa have hii conversation ya Youth Policy Dialogue Forum. The conversation has been the policy must be there because kuna wase wengi wanaweza hawana hiyo tuseme hiyo motisha. I just want to get my job done, lakini hakuna access. So unapata youth anasema wacha nihamie Nairobi, wacha nihamie place kuna hiyo access na networks. Hapa Kenya ukiangalia kaizo mahabs IT zikuanga concentrated in urban areas hapa Nairobi. Msemo Moyale akona idea ya startup, right? Hata kuincubate hakuna. So kuna need ya hiyo infrastructure, one, alafu pia support from each county. And how can you as a youth access that? It starts first by what kind of leadership unachagua hapo. Mse kwa hiyo area naongea juu ICT kwa sababu ukisikia wageni hapa kwa studio wanasema for youth the real kifunguo kuna education, lakini education in ICT. Whether it's formal or informal. Unaweza jifunza, lakini chances are your kneecaps are being shot, your legs are being chopped, hauwezi fika hiyo place unafaa kufika kwa sababu hakuna infrastructure. Na leaders wa hiyo area yako, hii si priority kwao. Saka si priority, na ni priority kwako. Si kuhama, to make it a priority to them as well.
Absolutely, that's really, really powerful. And on just to the importance of actually engaging in this formulation of these processes, policy formulation processes, the importance. But nilikuwa nataka to touch on the upper your part here, the opportunities. How critical is it for us to make sure we include ICT in some of our, in the policy for the youth, especially? I mean, is it really important for it in the sense of us being able to do something different? Because also Manga ICT, will really help us make things differently, being more innovative, develop new skills. How critical is it for ICT and youth right now to be part of our policy?
Very critical. 100 and above
200,
%. Because every conversation we're having right now is around ICT. Let me put it as the most basic of conversations. Tutatoka hapa ukienda online. Then the next thing that's popping up is the most recent conversation you've had. Phishing is happening, but how is it happening? Are we even understanding it? Innovation is happening. People are able to sell per county, per country. People are able to interact. Like, for example, going back to Fursa again, sorry for this, but people have met on that platform that they would not have had an opportunity to meet. So the advancement of e-conversations, e-dialogues, e-commerce is projecting towards the advancement of ICT. And must I say, the market right now is very accommodative of ICT because it's not a must for you to actually sit down, plan and meet someone physically. We've moved from that age. Right now, we're having conversations via because this is transmission, but it's also So any conversations that we are having right now is towards the advancement of ICT. And we have to ensure that we have a space for ourselves as youth for this, because this is the only way we'd be able to grow ourselves. This is the only way we'd be able to create that voice. The most basic example, the Omanyala story. Before the visa denial, what created the star?
We had to
online conversations.
Yeah, of course. We put pressure online.
Exactly. He got it. He went. He made us proud. We're waking up to good news. We have a gold medal. If it wasn't for that affirmative action online, if it wasn't for what we brand as KOT, some conversations would not have even seen the light of day.
It's true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is disparity.
Yes.
Where there are young people in one part of the country that don't even have access to the internet. I mean, the reality is that ukitoka hapa tuseme, we just go about maybe 40, 50, 1 hour drive and already utakuwa na network issues. Now, for me, I'm looking at a scenario. If this persists, there's going to be another disparity of people who are connected versus those ones who are not connected. If a young child in Nairobi is already getting access, already coding, wako nyumbani sahi, wanafanya homework, wako na online. We saw it last year at a time of COVID, where they were saying, bakini nyumbani, somea kutoka nyumbani. What happened? Right?
Education came to a standstill.
Exactly. But
and
for
again,
other places, what the parents were able to give access online classes. So there was a disparity. Internet right now, can we agree, is a basic right. This access that you're talking about, information, communications and technology, for some people is still a dream. So ndio kwa sababu tunataka sisi vijana tuelewe hii conversation, because all these things, hata ukiongea juu ICT bila, even just simple thing of being on Facebook and seeing what the world is talking about, there are people who are not able to access that. And last election, sijui kama nakumbuka, there are politicians that promised that there would be free internet in some counties, including Nairobi. Is it true? Do we have that free internet?
Nah, man.
So there are some policies zenye ziumekiwa within the counties, alafu kuna policies zenye umekiwa nationally.
Let me just add something, also just to bounce off it. Apparently now the effect of that inakuanga wealth gap pay widen.
Exactly.
Unacheki, like if you have kids in Moyale who don't have access to the internet, maybe your situation in COVID, so now knowledge is power, knowledge is wealth. So you keep on raising a bunch of kids who have access to information. They're probably doing business online. Guess what happens? Bado, the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer. So I don't know what you have to say about that.
Point of action. Sorry. There's a reason why it's information communication technology. There's the aspect of we have the information that this areas or regions do not have access to this. We have communicated, but not to the right people and not in the right way. So another reason, or rather another angle where the youth can communicate is through voting. Who are you voting in? After voting them in, let's say for example, did you vote them in for the right reasons? Do they have your interests at heart? So after voting them in and hearing their manifestos, are you going to just frame it off as propaganda, or are you holding them accountable after they get into those positions through technology to now ensure that all these issues that they had raised that are pro-youth have been addressed? So we have to come as a united front per region and ensure that the people who we're listening to when they're campaigning are pro-youth, are pro-ICT conversations, are pro-development, advancement of who we are as an entity, as a nation.
So just to turn to the gentleman, nikiangalia Kajiado kuna mayouth wengi sana. Hata wenye utupigia hapa kutoka Rongai, kutoka different parts. Hata kuna wale utupigia wanasema mimi nimetoka nyumbani 1 week ago, nimepeleka mambuzi, like the only place amepata frequency hapo ndio anapigia. Huyu kijana akona access to these things that we're talking about?
No. You find that now, if allow me to go back to the youth policy, where the youth dialogue, the youth policy dialogue. First of all, I want to appreciate what the National Youth Council is doing. And together with these partners, they are giving us the opportunity to come up and draft our own youth policy, which will be able to guide us when implemented. So there's the information communication technology is very critical, because nowadays you find that we have a lot of youth who are depending on the internet. For example, like me, I'm a website designer, and so this is a critical situation where the government need to put more investment into the ICT docket.
That's why I've asked you.
Yes.
You're from Kajiado, right?
Yes, I'm from.
We are currently in an election. 4 days away. 4 days 420. Yeah, to the election.
420.
420 to the election. So, am I lying? It's 420.
Facts.
Hapo hiyo area yenu kuna watu wanaongea juu ya ICT as part of their manifesto, and are they talking in a way that ukijana mwenye akupali heading, right? Anaweza access hiyo hizo vitu zenye anasema.
Okay, coming back to that, tuko na wabunge pale, ma MCS, and if you look at the Azimio manifesto, they are trying to elaborate more on the digital economy, and which will allow the government to understand citizens better and create new challenges to existing policies. So this is where we need the youth to come out and vote. And if you also you compare with the Kenya Kwanza, they are more pledged to ensure every part of the county has internet access and promise to achieve full digitalization in a period of 2023 to 2027.
Yeah.
So this is how critical it is for information communication technology. So my request is to the youths to come out and be part of this democracy process. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Guess I gotta let you go now. We know our dance. Melody.
What's up, Melody?
I am fine.
Yeah. Umesikia hii story mekubamba?
Yeah, but I have something to add on that. Actually, instead of really depending on our leaders and the government to do something, I'm thinking that for the youth that have actually achieved something in this sector, ICT sector, because it is really luxurious and all, I'm thinking, what if they form a group, then they go to areas that they don't have the internet access and all, but take them as an academy and make them learn wherever they are. But instead of talking of the government, because you've had the same story over and over.
But I'm here to tell you, sis, I'm here to tell you, you, this government, and all consequent governments from the beginning to the end are here to serve you. So you can't say that you're paying people salary not to work for you. It's not dependency, it's accountability. We don't depend on them. We hold them accountable for the things we expect them to do in the different counties. So you can't ignore government. You have to work with government. Infrastructure, nani ataweka? Tutashika mikono tuweke nini cables za internet zifike kila pahali? Hapana, hiyo ni kazi ya government in partnership with other. But kama mtu amefungua mdomo amesema mimi nitaweka ICT hapa, umesoma hiyo manifesto na ameongea na pia kwa county kuna development plan ICT ko tops, na mnajua youth wote wa hii county wana depend on ICT. Bro, there's nothing going on in that county except si ulituambia mbona hii ifanyiki, hebu harakisha kwanza.
There's a budget also, kuna doya hiyo. So and you're the boss, so you have to engage in this policy formulation processes
and push.
Exactly. Push.
We have to push.
We have to hold you to account.
You told us you're going to do this. Get it done. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Na vijana, I hope tumesikia 39% of us tuko kwa hiyo ballot, as in 39% ya voters wote ni ma youth dem. Si tunasema the only way we can make a change is if we come through as a constituency. Tuseme venye kuna kwanga na women na women who show up. I can attest.
I'm very proud of
we
that.
Show up. And also vijana, nataka pia niseme sisi kama youth na sisi kama women we show up, but this conversation is about youth. So imagine kama 39% to show up. Kuna msee anaweza cheza na sisi kweli?
Hell to the no.
So the power is in your hands. You decide. Utalala useme ati maze unajua nilikuwa andas jana maze tabidi maze nilale kidogo.
Before we bounce back to the music, kuna set up things. Melody won some serious matches na tukunazo hapa kwa studio. So I'm going to be giving her that. And also guys, remember there's that Dance for Peace challenge and I go down on our TikTok. That is at Vibes Radio KE # Dance for Peace # TikTok for Peace # at Fursa, is it at Fursa? I think it's that one. So end up with your challenge. If you can bust those moves, then wewe pia utapata chance ya walk away with some serious merchandise. But Melody, congrats maze, make it as in you dance really well. You made us very proud. So good job.
Positive vibrations on the morning vibes.